We're here in the beautiful Amsterdam, meet Berlage, and we're here with Kimera. Could you please introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Munir Sita, and I'm the founder and CEO of Kimera.
And what does Kimera do? What's your concept?
So the vision has always been how do we get to a future where we're surrounded by intelligence. Everything is intelligent. They just work behind the scenes. We don't have to press buttons or anything like that. That was the beginning of a research that started back in 2005. The result of that was what we call artificial general intelligence, a different type of economy. But the eventual product we settled on with this technology was if probably the best way of achieving a future like that is if the internet could think. So instead of us typing a URL or downloading an app or pressing a button, what if the internet understood not what we're doing, but what we're trying to accomplish and why we're trying to accomplish it? And what if the internet could bring together all the apps and content, make them work together to do stuff magically?
It sounds a bit like artificial intelligence, but the next step, actually.
Yes. So artificial general intelligence is the idea that machines can think at human levels or beyond. Now, most scientists believe that's decades away. Most scientists who work in this field focus on the neuroscience part. We were able to develop a theory what intelligence is, which is a paper we're going to release later this year. But that theory wasn't based on neuroscience at all. It was based on physics and quantum mechanics, essentially cause and effect stuff. And from there, we're able to build an algorithm. Now, it's very hard to convince people that we might have the beginning of artificial general intelligence, but I think where we get our confidence from right now is we now have a university in New York, as well as German center, a research center for artificial intelligence, which is one of the largest nonprofit AI research centers in the world, who are actually going to test how powerful this algorithm really is. So, it's far beyond what we do with AI today.
And maybe for the wider public, what is your background? How did you get into this field, this blockchain field? AI field?
Well, the AI field is, I don't know, probably a few days after I was born. I don't know. It's just something you've been doing for as long as I can remember, or at least thinking about it. Blockchain, quite honestly, when we started developing this technology, we realized that we needed a way to protect knowledge so that bad actors couldn't teach this AI wrong things in an attempt to try and control it. And so we actually started building our own blockchain technology technically before Bitcoin existed. Now, I know blockchain is older than Bitcoin, but we don't use the word blockchain till a few years ago. So.
Were you at a big company, or were you IT guys in a garage? What make this?
So the research team was essentially it was really only two of us. There was a person named Nigel Dayton, who had just retired as a senior vice president at Gartner. He was a researcher there. Okay. Yes. So yes. So him and I, I was focused mostly on the physics and on the technical side. He was focused more on the economics and how does the economy of the future look like. And then once we had a working prototype, when we felt confident this technology would actually work. Like when we started, we didn't know if we were going to have anything or not, but we got a prototype. We matured the prototype a little bit more, and we were really confident we could actually build a product. That's when we incorporated. We expanded the team. Right now we're about 12 people, mostly in the United States, but also one person in Germany and one in Norway.
You're based in the West Coast, in
yes.
US. I mean, the office is there, and etc.
Yes, Portland, Oregon. Not too many people have heard of Portland, Oregon, but it's between Seattle and San Francisco.
Portland Trailblazers. I know.
Yes, yes.
Quite the lecturer, yeah. But I mean, you're building. Actually, you're growing fast. I mean, you're not having any trouble finding talent, developers, or people to onboard.
We spent actually the first. We incorporated in 2012. That's when we realized this technology work. We can actually make a product out of this technology.
AI combined with blockchain.
Yeah, even at that point, we still didn't use the word blockchain. But after we incorporated in 2012, we still spent 3 years working with device manufacturers, network operators, and essentially co-developing a business strategy. Because we're not, our first step is not device manufacturers, but our target customers are device manufacturers, network operators, or anyone who owns a network, even people at even people at home with their home Wi-Fi. Yeah. Anyone. But we're not asking, like you say, a device manufacturer to pre-install an app. What we want them to do is to embed a piece of technology directly into the operating system, so that the device becomes natively intelligent, and as a result, it eventually, in theory, will completely change your business model. They like it a lot, but like one guy said, no one's going to bet their job on an untested technology. So our first step, and this is why we're doing the ICO, is to test it out at an app level, test it at scale, show that not only does the technology work at scale, but also the economics behind it. And then step 2 is direct device implementation.
So, for instance, if I own an Android or even an iPhone, I can actually install your app, and then what happens then?
So it's only Android. Only Android. And for a very simple reason, Apple wants to control the entire user experience. With this technology, it's the AI, as it's learning about you, what you need and what you want, it provides you an user experience. So it kind of breaks the business rules of Apple. So
that's a pity.
Yes. What's the question again? Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, actually, when I install it on my Android phone, what happens then? Actually, sure. I mean, yes. You have the Google Assistant, of course. That's the basic level, probably.
Yes.
I mean,
so anything that Google Assistant does was programmed by a person. Every task it does was specifically programmed. That's what AI does. And, it becomes better at recognizing your words, but the task itself are pre-programmed. Generally intelligent, it's not programmed at all. So it's a baby. So when we did our first beta test, I was on a Friday. We told people, you're going to install an app, and it will do nothing. It will just sit there and observe and look at how you live your life. And then we cheated. We gave everyone movie tickets. We told them, go to the movies, have fun. By Monday, this AI had learned, just from observation, that it's common sense to silence your phone at the movie theater and lower down your screen brightness. So now it's doing that automatically. So it's called Nigel. My research partner passed away, so we named it after him. So my Nigel, because I've used Nigel a lot more, has gone a step further. So when I go to a restaurant with my wife, I've always rejected all incoming calls except for babysitter. When our babysitter calls, we'll answer. My coworker calls, sorry, you can wait. And Nigel's picked that up. Just again, learning. It doesn't quite understand why yet, but if I go to a restaurant with my wife, my phone does not ring unless it's our babysitter. But in that case, it's not common sense. It's something personal to me. Yeah.
You can program your own Nigel, actually.
It's not your program. You just live your life, and it learns. And so we'll keep adding more technologies. Like one technology we're partnering up with a company down in Silicon Valley, who can recognize emotions. So we're going to start playing adding emotions into this algorithm, so it can behave correctly based on if you're sad or happy or heartbroken or whatever it is. But that's the first phase. The second would be app developers, because what this AI does, our AI doesn't really do anything. It's kind of like the mind. It figures out what needs to be done, and it looks at all apps, content, devices, networks as body parts to inflict the changes in the real world. Yeah. So apps become another set of body parts. So we need apps. We need developers to support our SDK and integrate it. And I think the reason why I think we're going to be able to attract a lot of developers really fast is this first thing. There's a lot of things, but this first thing we call it a reverse app store model. So instead of writing an app, put it up in App Store, hope people find it and download it and use it, this AI, when it realizes that you need something, even if it's as simple as a restaurant menu. You walk into a restaurant, someone wrote in a restaurant app, it automatically brings that app to you, puts it up on your phone, tells the app how to sort the menu so it only shows the stuff that you like, or maybe tells the app like, hey, he's been working out today, so show him the burgers, or maybe you've been sitting on the couch all day, so show him the salad. So it brings app to people, and it tells the app how to behave. It tells the app to work with other apps, so it becomes completely seamless to you as a user. So that's what I think is going to bring developers in.
So it's going to be a very much more intelligent app, actually.
Yes, we have shown comprehension, that it actually comprehends stuff. So, but right now it's still a baby. 5 years from now, probably, hopefully, be like a 20-year-old.
All right, the place is going to be a little bit packed. Just to close out. I mean, what are the metrics of the ICO? What and when does it start?
So we're doing a restart next week. Our soft cap is 25,000 ethers. Our hard cap is, we don't really have a hard cap. We're doing it a little bit differently. There's a hard cap of 1 billion of our tokens, which is priced at 0.00036. So we have a bonus structure going on, but that bonus keeps going down. The more research partner, academic partners that are willing to go public and say this is actually the beginning of an AGI. So far we have 2 research institutes. And we believe that the more researchers kind of, even if they don't agree that it is AGI, maybe even if they only say, I can't dismiss that this is not AGI, I think it helps bring the value up. And since we're backing our tokens with IP, bonus goes down, the valuation of the company goes up.
Okay, thank you very much for your time, and yeah, all the best with the ICO. So people can go to
Kimera.ai.
Kimera.ai. Very interesting project. So thank you very much.
Thank you. All right.
Yes.